All of us who voted for Kamala Harris look smarter and smarter every single day.
Is that so?
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Smarter and smarter? I think Kamala Harris has a 500-foot restraining order from Smarter.
You know, I believe that we should always feel that, you know, the children of the community are the children of the community.
Yeah.
Where people feel safe and feel a sense of communal responsibility and community.
Yeah.
Could you picture 4 years of this? Having to listen to this, the cackling, the burden by what has been, her perpetual confusion hands, the occasional 5 glasses of wine to go with her word salad, slurred salad, if you will. Children of the community are the children of the community, making people feel communal and communist and children of the communism. Can you please just buy my book? Because I need money from the community.
This is going to sound a little bit harsh, but please hear me out. If you voted for Trump, I most likely want nothing to do with you for the rest of my life. You have taken away honor out of this country, dignity.
Boy, these white dudes for Harris are pretty bitter, aren't they?
You see, the whole world has heard Donald Trump on his audio bragging about sexually assaulting women.
This guy could put on all the background music he wants for his big testimonial. It doesn't make his argument any more powerful. And by the way, it wouldn't surprise me if this guy was paid, but whatever. He's bringing up the Trump, they let you grab them by the P line, somehow pretending not to understand the word let. And he's going to put that against Democrat Charmin-level softness punishments that enabled tragedies like this, or this, putting millions of women, men, children at risk of all races. This guy can go straight to hell's asshole and burn forever with his Orioles cap, and he should take this guy with him.
Do you think Trumpism lasts beyond this term?
Don't think so. I think it'd be very hard to do it.
Eesh, how did George Clooney get so old? That TDS stuff isn't particularly healthy, is it? Will Trumpism last past his term? I don't know. My question is, will George Clooney last past his term? James Comey's indicted, Antifa people's arrested. I'll take shit that should have happened 5 years ago for 400, please. Jimmy Kimmel returned from being a temporary martyr of the left for blatantly lying about Charlie Kirk's murder, and then he lied about why he was suspended in the first place.
And that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man.
Thank goodness his constitutional right not to be funny, not to be a good person, and not to get good ratings was upheld. How can one describe Jimmy Kimmel? I think I'd borrow the words of the great Mike Tyson.
You come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit.
You might as well replace Jimmy Kimmel with Jimmy Comey. Neither are funny, both hate Trump, and they're both lying hacks. Remember, Kimmel's part of ABC, and ABC is part of Disney. And Disney is a mega multi-billion-dollar corporation who's very cozy with the Democrat Party. So Jimmy Kimmel isn't David, he's Goliath. He's not speaking truth to power, he's speaking lies for power. And the thing is, Kimmel knew all along that he could lie. Because he doesn't only have ABC, he has every major network backing him up too. Look at the coverage here.
Kimmel made an emotional return to his late-night TV show. During his opening monologue, the comedian said there was nothing funny about the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. And CBS News correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti is outside the show's studio in Hollywood once again. Good morning, Jonathan. So bring us up to speed. What happened inside last night?
Beaming smile.
Yeah, good morning, Errol. Last night's show, it was emotional, it was passionate. Ultimately, it was a tribute to free speech.
No, it was a tribute to propaganda. That's how corporate leftist media works. One massive propaganda superorganism. Look at them, they give off the vibe that they're so empathetic, pleasant, educated, and reasonable, and they're there to cue you in on how you think so that you too will be empathetic, pleasant, educated, and reasonable.
You come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit.
So we have a government shutdown upon us. And Trump posted this on X. Kimmel probably hates it because it's actually funny.
Guys, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, you know, at least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
The Democrat response is right on brand, that being of the perpetually offended victim who lies.
It's a disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault.
Aren't Democrats demanding health care for illegal aliens? That's right. Democrats are demanding health care for everybody.
Basically, I'm a 1990s turn-of-the-century Democrat. Well, maybe not, because the Democrats were always lying. It's funny to see how the 1990s turn-of-the-century liberals have been recast into the 1933 brown shirts.
Not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers.
Middle-aged Clinton, yeah, he's a Nazi. Middle-aged Nancy is KKK for sure.
Undocumented are not allowed to receive benefits from this initiative.
And middle-aged Schumer, well, he's one of the fiercest Republican voices today.
People say, well, why can't you stop illegal immigrants or others from coming here? And the number one answer we give our constituents is when they come here, they can get jobs, get benefits against the law because of fraud.
And you know who isn't a fraud? Me. If you go right now to patreon.com/jokesinapoint, you can purchase the Trump Tumbler, aka the Trumpler. You can get it separately for $40, or you can get it for free by becoming a paid member at any level. Again, patreon.com/jokesinapoint. I've sent out my first batch, way more to come. Thank you very much. College-educated people of today are particular threats to the world, it seems, because they think they have a monopoly on intelligence, compassion, and reason. Why do they think that? Because they have a certificate of smartness. In old movie reference terms, they have a Wizard of Oz approach when it comes to intelligence. This scene really says a lot about today.
Where I come from, we have universities, seats of great learning, where men go to become great thinkers. And when they come out, they think deep thoughts, and with no more brains than you have. But they have one thing you haven't got, a diploma. Therefore, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Universitatis Comitiatum e Pluribus Unum, I hereby confer upon you the honorary degree of THD.
THD?
That's Doctor of Thinkology.
The sum of the square roots of any two sides of an isosceles triangle is equal to the square root of the remaining side. Wrong!
Yeah, the Scarecrow was dead wrong. He's butchering the Pythagorean theorem, and I know that because I consulted with AI. Thank you very much. The screenwriters did that to highlight the theme that true intelligence isn't granted by external validation. Now think about college-educated people today and how they argue. They'll argue precisely that intelligence about a subject is exclusively granted by external validation.
About to take Tylenol for my headache while pregnant because I don't take my medical advice from a man who doesn't have a degree in science healthcare.
Our external validation factories of today are from these same universities. And those universities are devout followers of the hard left. And people who challenge that often need security and will end up dead. The first problem is that they simply don't know how to be challenged. It's like they can't conceive of it. Because again, their viewpoint is self-evidently empathetic, intelligent, and reasonable. How can there possibly be an alternative? I just stumbled over a great example of that. Watching Michael Knowles some time ago being challenged by a professor about Christopher Columbus. At its heart, it's an important argument. If you listen to it carefully, there's an implicit justification for overlooking illegal immigration, for ignoring it as a form of global reparations, all because of America's alleged historical exploitation.
I'm a full-time professor here. I also am Italian-American, and I happen to agree with the protester in the back.
I know students come out a lot, but professors don't always come out to hear opposing points of view, so that's a wonderful thing.
It's my duty. But
I've left you speechless. I've dazzled you.
Thank you. In 1492, before a racist and genocider came to this land, there were people living here. Every inch of this land was occupied.
Just as a matter of history, not every inch of the land was occupied. There were huge areas that were completely wilderness.
I was quiet the entire time you spoke. Those people still exist. The North American indigenous people, Central and South American, they're still here. And I would like to know how you can say that they have no ancestral claim to this land, and that as a white person, you can say that they cannot migrate freely and cannot use the land freely that they rightfully own and have for thousands of years.
Well, Mike, I'd like you to be more specific. Which people specifically and which land specifically? Because there were lots of different peoples in the northern and southern, in North America and South America at the arrival of Christopher Columbus. So which people do you think have a claim to which land?
I'm talking about the Native Americans.
But there were many different Native American
Would you
tribes.
like me to name all the tribes?
Yes, and I'd like you to name, and the reason I would like you to name all the tribes is because there were many tribes who conquered many other tribes. So just as an example, thank you. Just as an example, the Comanche Indians come in and they conquer areas run by the Apache Indians. Now the United States comes in and it owns that land. To which tribe should that revert? To which tribe should that land revert? The Comanche, who had it before us, or the Apache, who had it before them? Moreover, for the people who still exist, you're referring to Christopher Columbus in an ahistorical way by calling him some sort of racist or some sort of genocidal maniac. The man never committed any sorts of genocide at all, and he was actually known among the Spanish explorers for his good treatment of the natives. That point is neither here nor there. And I encourage people to read biographies of Christopher Columbus because there's a lot of historical fiction out there. The point on that is that when the Spanish came to this country, and to this continent, they did create a new race known as Latinos. This is a mixture of Spaniards and Native American populations. So if we are going to revert certain land to Native populations, why would we not then immediately take that land away from them because they also descend from Spanish explorers? In what sort of atomized way would you define your own race, your own identity? I think this is a very backwards and ultimately impossible view of personal identity that puts your stock in some particular ancestor rather than something that is larger than yourself. I think it's a madness of the modern left, and it leads to crazy policy proposals, such as saying that somebody who descends from a native population in Colombia has a right to move to any apartment he wants to in New York because of race or something. We can certainly have a response.
Thank you for not answering my question, and in the future,
I think I did answer you. How specifically could I answer your question?
If you could not lower the microphone until the person's done speaking, I think that'd be better for everyone. Thank you. That's all.
So you were done speaking.
That's the creme de la creme, folks.
You come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit.
Professors are supposed to embody the institution's commitment to knowledge advancement, intellectual discourse, and student mentorship. They are the face of the learning institution. Is that what we just witnessed there? He couldn't even begin to argue his case. If this is the left's intellectual champion, and he gets instantly vaporized, posterized, or mogged, as my kids would say, what's left for the left? Well, easy. Violence, of course, often encouraged by these same type of professors. And are they going to repent over the violence? Of course not. The Occupy Wall Street, later Antifa people, they're communists at heart. Mamdani, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Bernie. That's the soul of the Democrats today. These are the people who can absolutely rationalize away communist results. They can shrug off the deaths of 100 million people. No problem. And today they fight to keep illegals pouring in and to keep neighborhoods unsafe. How could Charlie Kirk possibly make a difference to them? Denial is in their DNA. The old saying was, conservatives think that the left is wrong, and the left thinks conservatives are evil. Things have changed. Now I think the left is evil. So we're even. Thanks for watching. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe. Be sure to pass around to anybody who might like my content. And I'll see you the next time.